All right, so let's do. Our guest is Stephen Piercy today. Of course, the voice of Rat. Rat, unfortunately, does not exist as a band anymore. The closest you're going to get is Stephen, who does a ton of solo shows and plays all Rat songs. There is a new Rat box set that just came out that I have right here. This is a little bit of a glare there, but it's all the Atlantic records, the 5 Atlantic records in one box. There you go. There it is laid out. There's a vinyl version of it as well. I've got my preferred CDs here. And we're going to do for our Metal Six Pack our top 6 Rat songs. So who starts today? I don't remember
start.
the order.
I go, then Don, then Eddie. So my number 6 is from the last album they put out. I think it was 2015.
Yeah, it's a good record.
Station, yeah, and the opening track, "Eat Me Up Alive." I love this track. I remember hearing it when they first put it out. I think it was the first single, if I'm not mistaken. But great heavy song. So that's my number 6 Rat song.
Yeah, that album was much more metal than a lot of their other albums. But at number 6 for me is "I Want a Woman," which was that song was a grower, not a shower for me, off the Reach the Sky album. Second track on that record, and I had forgotten about it for a little while, but I think Stephen put it back in the set, and I've seen him a bunch of times over the last couple of years, and I was like, oh yeah, I always really loved that song. So I put that in, number 6.
You know what was interesting about that song? They did a video, if you remember, for that song, and they intentionally put like regular women in it. What I mean by that is they didn't intentionally go around trying to find like supermodels in the audience and all the like hottest chicks. They put everyone in of every age, shape, size, whatever. I thought that was a really cool thing to do at that time. If you watch that video, it was like an intentional thing to not just focus on the beautiful people. I thought that was cool that they did that. All right, my number 6 is, put it up so I remember because I don't have the list in front of me. Oh, this originally was on the Point Break soundtrack and then later went on one of the actual Rat records. I forget which one, but Nobody Rides for Free. Great, great song that was originally on that Keanu Reeves movie. Keanu Reeves, by the way, announcing he's going back out with his band Dog Star after 20 years. But that is a great Rat song, one of my favorites. A really cool, kind of different song for them.
Yeah, well, I wonder, Keanu Reeves just all of a sudden announces his tour when the writer's strike hit and the actor's strike. So they're all going to be all the actors are going to start going out and doing stand-up comedy if they can, or with their bands or whatever. So that's
I
why
didn't
he's
realize
doing
that, but that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5 for me is the closing track on Out of the Cellar record. I love this song, "Scene of the Crime." Very underrated, solid, and I have that 45. I'm pretty sure.
I agree. That's an underrated track. I wanted to ask Stephen about what he thinks are some of the underrated ones, because I agree, Jim. I think that one is. But my number 5 is "Loving You Is a Dirty Job." And
great song.
That song is so kick ass. I love the way he sings the title. Even I'm the man to do it. He's just got that, man. He just puts his balls into it. Great track. It's that's off the Detonator album right there, and kick ass tune.
That almost made my list because I do love that song. The bridge in that song is great. The hook, that's kind of like a semi like forgotten Rat hit. I think you don't really hear about that one all that much, but it's a great song. All right, my number 5 is "Dance" from the Dancing Undercover album. Again, kind of heavy, crunchy tune, and just comes in and slams. It's got a great drums. Blotz lays down a great pocket in that, and just always love it. Just always find myself gravitating towards that track a lot when I pick stuff to play on the radio from Rat. So "Dance" at number 5.
Number 4 for me is "You're in Love." I mean, great song, friggin' hooky, crunchy. I love this. That's on the second record, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Invasion of Privacy. But yeah, "You're in Love" is my number 4.
All right, my number 4 is Way Cool Jr. And man, that is so Stephen in a nutshell right there. Like even if you text Stephen now, and go, hey, I'm here at the show. I'll see you afterwards. That's what he'll type back to you. Way cool.
That's what he wrote to me when I sent him the link to come on in 10 minutes.
Right, exactly. He does. So, I just, it's a cool story in the song. The version I like the studio version, but the version that I really love is when they did MTV Unplugged, and they did a really killer version of that on Unplugged. So if you haven't heard that, check that out. And I love that ascending scale, that and Steven sings over it, and that's not easy, to sort of put the vocal over that scale that DeMartini lays down. But great vocal performance overall on that, and all the instrumentation. There's horns on there and everything on the studio version. Really cool.
And that opening part, I mean, super bluesy. Warren doing that whole open to that song is really, really cool. I think that was kind of like their Ragdoll. You know how Aerosmith was huge with Ragdoll? That was kind of like their answer to that, I think.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
Ed, you're number 4 for you.
My number 4 is Lay It Down. I mean, that opening riff is just monstrous. And again, the Blots' secret weapon of Rat, that pocket, that groove that he lays down. Warren, of course, sounding amazing, and Juan and Steven singing, those voices blending together with the chorus on that. And who could forget the video with the Playboy centerfold Marianne Gravatt in it with the little kid? So it's the whole thing right there. It's awesome. Lay It Down at 4.
My number 3 is a song You Think You're Tough. That was off the Rat EP. That's how I discovered these guys, the EP, when it first came out, before even the first album. I love that album cover with the rats going up the girl's leg and stuff. Back for More on there. That's when I totally got into Rat, and this is a great song.
You know whose leg that was, Jim?
Who?
The late Tawny Katane.
It was? Oh, really?
Yeah. Before David Coverdale, she was dating, I think, Robin Crosby, and that was her leg on the cover of the EP. And those were real rats that they hung from her stockings, because there's no CGI then. We should ask Steven about that if he was at that shoot. Because that's a trooper for a woman to let
I know.
hang real rats off her stockings for an album cover.
Yeah. Anyway, that's my number 3. Done.
Cool.
Right.
My number 3 is a deep cut, Dangerous but Worth the Risk. It's the song that closes out the Invasion of Your Privacy album. And it's just, that song is just proof that how good Invasion of Your Privacy is, that there's not a weak song on the whole album. So that when you get to the last song on the record, a lot of bands, they throw the weakest song at the end. Not Rat. Dangerous but Worth the Risk. Really cool. And I think underrated song, just in their catalog in general.
All right. This is me, right?
Yeah.
Wanted Man. I mean, again, I just think so many people forget how many unbelievable songs Rat have that still hold up. And this is from Out of the Cellar, the debut album, the opening track. And, again, there's the open, how cool it is, the power chords, it's so heavy. It's just awesome. It just sets the tone. First song, first album, it just sets the tone for everything Rat was. So I put that at number 3.
Is that Tawny on that cover there?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2 is Lay It Down, like Eddie's, I think, number 3 or 4. Just a great song. What could you say about it? Eddie already said everything, so it's your turn, Don.
All right, then I'm going to go Round and Round. That's the song that really started it all for those guys. And, of course, we remember the video with Milton Berle, the whole thing already. What?
No doubt the biggest Rat song. It just missed my list, even though it's rare that the biggest song from a band is a song I actually like and still like, but that would be one. But it just missed my cut. Anyway, what's my number 2? Let's look. This song kicks so much ass. It is from the Dancing Undercover album. Heavy, fast. This was super tough between this and my number 1, because this easily could have been my number 1 too. But Body Talk at 2 for me.
My number 1 Rat song, Back for More. Originally heard it on the EP. They put it on their debut, but phenomenal song. That's what hooked me on Rat in 82 or 83 when the EP first came out. So that's my number 1.
Yeah, that one didn't make it on my list because I felt like there's songs that kind of canceled each other out. I mean, we only have room for 6, so instead of Back for More, I put Round and Round. And then for my number 1, I had to decide between Lay It Down and my number 1, which is You're in Love. It's the album opener on Invasion of Your Privacy. I mean, that album kicks in with that it's like a razor sharp riff. It's the minute you hear it, man, you're like into it already. Steven opens pretty much all his shows still to this day with that song, and it really sets the table for, you know, what you're going to hear afterwards. So there it is, my number 1.
I got the same number 1 as Jim. Back for More. It was tough between Body Talk and Back for More for me, but I just love everything about Back for More. It's got the I love the, you know, it opens kind of softly, you know, just the like setting it up, and then all of a sudden it goes into that killer groove, and then even during the solo part, it's got that groove that goes back that they always kind of rock out to. Just a timeless, great song, probably my favorite Rat song. And that's why it's at number 1. That image there is obviously for what they called one of their tours, because it credits Carlos Cavazo, who had nothing to do with the original song, but that was obviously, they called a tour that at one point. But anyway, Back for More is from Out of the Cellar is my number 1 Rat song.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Don. Thanks for watching that clip. If you'd like to see more stuff like that, check out these clips right here. And hey, why not join up, become a member, hit that join button, and you'll get access to exclusive content.